Hello, friends. Welcome back to the StingyHubby application development by me, Gaurav Palande. I Today we are done with the code walkthrough. We are done with the introduction of the application. So the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to address the feature requests and the bugs that we see for within the application that have been submitted during the analysis as well as the walkthrough that we did. There are other also in other to dos that we have. So those are in a different form, and those are the StingyHubby to dos, and these are listed below. We will address the ones in the database first, and then we'll address the ones in this Excel or Google Sheet that we have created. So for now, let's continue and let's start looking into the bug that was reported on 22nd of June. Um, the bug, it's a bug. It's not a feature request. It's a bug, and it says the form submission not working, and form submission, oh, it is mentioning that we are not able to submit the form. I do not see much information about it. However, what I would do is I'm already logged in into my application, and at that point when my wife was trying, I feel that she did not refresh her browser and her session was expired, and at that point of time she was updating her finances. So what I would do is I would want to make this screen more uh, make the screen more kind of responsive, where we would have alerts visible in the middle of the screen for us to tell the customer that there is some issue, there are some problems, or maybe the setup is not correct. Or we can give them confirmation messages that we were able to successfully submit your finances into the database. So for that, what I would do is I would go into the application, and within the application, um, I would go into, oh, I do see certain extensions. Let me restart the extensions. So I will do is first to give make the form submission a bit more responsive, and give our application certain alerts. We would want to go to the page first. So let's go to the pages and let's look at the update finance page. Within update finance page we do not see much, so let's go to the finance form. In the finance form, we have alert. So I have added an alert here: you must be logged in to submit financial data. And then we would have the on error, and then on submit. So we have the on submit, and then we should have something called as loading state. I i don't know if that's there, but I would okay, it looks like we don't have the loading state. So let me let me select all of this, copy, and let's go to ChatGPT. Now we are going to do the first time within our walkthrough or within our application. We are going to try the vibe coding. So I'm going to go into the StingyHubby uh, project for this, and I'm going to paste this page, and I'm going to say um, update this component to show loading animation after submitting form data, and then a message confirmation alert or confirmation message stating that the form has been submitted. Okay, so this is our prompt to ChatGPT. We have given the code for, or we have posted the code that currently we have for the component, and then finance form component, and then we also mentioned that we would want to have a loading animation and after we submit the form, and then we also need a confirmation message for this that the form has been submitted. So when I press enter, I should get certain response from ChatGPT that would say we would want to change. So ChatGPT has mentioned that it would have a loading test within submission, and then it has given us the form or data back is set is submitting and set submitted. So looks like it's using certain state logic submitted and is set submitted within it, and it's trying to put that true and false. And then we also list out the error has been submitted, error in submitting the form, please try again. Or we would get a yeah, we would get an alert over here in the end that we submitted the form successfully. Now this is a good candidate for us to take uh, actually there is one suggestion that ChatGPT has said, let me know if you want the loading state to show a spinner instead of text. Okay, so show a spinner instead of text. That would be a better thing, having a spinner in front of us. So here it has created a CSS property, it has created a spinner for us, spinner style, and then it has updated the form accordingly, and then it has created the form or reused the form for us and made appropriate changes. And then also one more is auto hide the confirmation message after a few seconds. So this is one more thing we would want the ChatGPT to do. And I wouldn't say few seconds, 5 seconds. I would add that logic, auto hide the confirmation message after 5 seconds. So it's now going to set a timeout to the on submit button, and it's going to log in the message, and then submitting, and then it has set a timeout over here of 5 seconds on this line, and then the form data is mentioned here. Let me know if you want a fade out effect as well. For now I will keep this on hold, and I will have it saved within our code. So let me paste it here. That shows we have changed a few things. So let's look at the changes. So here you can see we are using useState from React. We are also using a spinner style. I don't know if this texts are visible to you or not. Let me increase the let let me see if how I can increase the, or I can see. options, right? There should be options. Preferences. Yeah, I will look into that. Maybe I can ask ChatGPT how to increase the font. So let's do that. I wouldn't use this one. I would use a different one at this point. Let's actually I can ask ChatGPT on my personal ChatGPT account. Yeah, give me 1 minute and then let's, yeah, refresh. How to increase font size in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so if you want to increase the so it says here, let's do control plus doesn't help, right? Or actually let's come out of this one and do control plus. No, doesn't help us. Command plus, let's do command plus. Oh yeah, this increases the font size. Yeah, this is what we want. We want an increased font size over here. And now I think you would be able to see the differences. Here we are using the spinner style, so we have given a spinner style, and then within this we have is submitting, set is submitting, and set submitting, where we are saving the states. And then if we do not have a user, we remove the comment, so we just have the alert message, and then is submitting state becomes true and submitted is false. And then here there's a small, instead of suggestion we just pass in the suggestion. So now we do not need the suggestion tag. We have the data and the suggestion and the user ID. And instead of in case of error, we instead of resetting, now we would see is submitting becomes false, and in the if it's not an error, then submitted is equal to true. We reset and we set a timeout of set submitted to 5 seconds. Else if there is any error, then we would say error submitting the form, please try again. And over here on submit, we would also have a style frame over here of spinner that we are using, and we would include that over here. And then we would have an input field. We would have the form data input field within this. And then on submit, is submitting becomes or disabled, the submit button gets disabled, we get the spinner, and then submit spinner we get, and then after some time we would get a message saying your financial data has been submitted successfully. So I'm okay with this change at the moment. I do see we might be able to make a little change, but let's submit it right now. Add it form some spinner. So we have our commit, we commit and sync. And now we go back to the code and we go to the deployment. We have our deployment running now. Takes 24 seconds. should be around 24 seconds. So let's refresh. Yeah, that passed. So now we can go to the application, and now let's refresh the page. Now we come to this new form submission page. So for testing purposes, let's add I've added random data. We submit. Once we submit, we get a spinner, and now we get the submit button again, and it clears the fields, and we say your financial data has been submitted successfully, and after 5 seconds it goes away. I think that's a good that's a that's a good job. It has updated our functionality a little bit, um, and I feel that's there is a debate. I was thinking that should it be a field at the bottom, or should it be something as an alert on the top. Right now I would like to keep it as it is. Maybe in the future, if we think about moving everything towards the top, then that would be something like I would want to make changes later on. So for now we'll keep it as it is. I think right now having this data here is good enough for us. A spinner, your financial data has been submitted successfully, and it goes away after 5 seconds. Yeah, I think this is good enough for us right now, and we are happy with it. So that's it for this video. It's a short one. I think later on we would be we what we do right now is I will mark this as done, and I'll remove it from our system, delete one row, and we have now a pop-up bar if anything is wrong. Otherwise we have this text below that tells us that the submission is done correctly. So I leave it to this today, and hopefully we will work on another feature next time, that is making our sidebar more animation much better. So thank you so much for your time, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.